was very reluctant to do this week only because, well, you see it in the title. You see the picture. I'm probably not going to change it at all. Because there's no way, none whatsoever, that Raw, Smackdown, or even NXT, as hype as they can get, no way anything WWE related this week before Money in the Bank is topping Hideo Koji-Mag-Fuckin Neto. Where your curly mustache at? Oh yeah, he's not on the show. You might have topped it if you had Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. Wonderful. Okay. And already I'm like, oh boy, this is going to be a long one. Thank God I DVR'd this now, because wow, like that's the crown jewel, but everything else about Sony was really great too. But they always do it on Monday, and I've always been like, man, I wish I watched that. Man, I wish I saw that. Now I got the chance, and I'm like, wow, this is great. Wow, is Raw gonna be dog shit? Alright, but anyway, apparently Kofi's got really clashing shoes on, and already this, ooh. He's repping a 2-time NBA champ, like, these are from the streets, and Biggie and Woods are like, well, what streets? Greenwich, Connecticut? Kofi's like, they're pretty mean streets. Now see, if you actually gave us that tonight, Kofi and Woods versus Pete Gas, Rodney, and Joey Abs, I would have been like, hey, this Ross, this, you would have succeeded already. But no, they're just making fun of Kofi's shoes. They call them, what do I have? I have Orthopezes, the Air Max Shuffle boards, and the I've fallen and can't get up 12s. Kofi doesn't care what they say. The kicks are hot. I'm a shoe guy. Today in a very special episode of Hoarders, Enzo and Cass like what the New Day brings, even for the ribbed for her pleasures packed on it. Take that, llama penises. Big Cass 1, Rock 0. Oh yeah, I'm going there. If we're teaming up tonight, I gotta know, are you serious with them Jerry Seinfeld sneaks? Cass even asks where Francesca was last week. I guess we're doing this now too, I'm the only one that gets to blow Francesca. Vaudevillains with some new manly merch. Merly? Yeah, I'm giving up on that one. I can't combine those two. Credit due for English to hold a note for however long he held it for. I never thought I'd see Anderson Gallows try to get real and be the fun police is here. Sonic Blue Sky confirmed for newest member of the Bullet Club. I'm watching this, I'm like, I want to play Odin Sphere so bad. Oh, it's so good. Spoiler alert, this is not topping Koji. I just told you that. You're not doing it. And I think WWE knew that and kind of was like, they had some good, it wasn't a total wash. They had a couple of good segments here or there, but, it was just a bad timing. I didn't get the Nomura shit, so like I told KZ, because he went on there, but, some cool shit happened. But anyway, it just leads to a big 8-man tag, and somewhere I feel like the Dudleys are looking on and they're like, that could have been us. But we had to do the honors to Enzo and Cass. They jobbed out the Cass, Big Cass solo. Stick a fork in them. They're done. Back to New Japan or whatever, where you held those championships. Maybe they'll. I like to say TNA, but I don't know. They had to work so hard just to keep the 4 main eventers they got now. Brother, do you... No, I'm not doing that again. I apparently need this. Apparently, it was like a big piano entrance, Big Money Matt or something like that. I'm like, that's cool. All right, before I get even more off topic, I guess this will be something for Botchamania or something like that, because it looked like Big E is about to do the slap to the midsection cadence of the New Day Rocks, and Raw goes to show what we just saw before the commercial break, which is Kofi holding that veteran status down with that over-the-top rope plancha. Good shit. Back from the recap, Big E still is like, gotch, in there, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to start over again. It's like, new. I'm like, yo, done. Keep your finger off the switch. Back from break, Enzo and Cass are just gone. But yeah, you want to toss Enzo outside? Everybody eats a move on the outside, except for Kofi gets taken out via blind tag to Gallows. Magic Killer, heels win. So, real momentum on the side of the New Day, and if not the New Day, the Club. Even though I don't want to call them that, I want to call them. Well, at least they have a name. I still feel like Enzo and Cass. I'm like, come on, you got to come up with a team name. The Certified G Unit. That's all I got. Apparently Shane wasn't on vacation, so where the fuck was he? I don't know. Him and Stephanie are like really at each, kind of like not at each other's throats, but they're starting to butt heads. Like I said, we could see something for the pay-per-view where they decide who gets Raw, who gets SmackDown. I don't know. It's still kind of early for July 17th. It's still early, but we'll see. Could be a segment on Raw for all I know. Apparently, I just found this out that the pre-show is Ziggler and Corbin again for what type of match? I don't know. It's the pre-show. But yeah, they weren't even on this. They'll probably be on SmackDown. I don't know. But anyway, Shane's wasn't on vacation. He tells you, you're painting a real pretty picture for yourself. But he's like, all right. I heard you wanted SmackDown. He's like, all right, I'll run Raw. Steph's like, no. Shane's like, okay, I'll take SmackDown. You run Raw. Steph says she wants both. I'm like, bitch, that's not how this works. Oh, and then comes Corporate Kane with a lovely resume for Shane and Steph, and apparently a letter of recommendation from The Undertaker. Or at least something that just looks like it has The Undertaker's name on it. I feel like he might have put this out. Like, come on. To be a fly on the wall now. And I was if that played out, you might have had a chance of topping E3, Again, if you just went with it. Just because he just opens the thing and there's nothing there. If there was like he opens the briefcase for Undertaker's thing, it would open up and it would play his music beep, 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 beep. Oh, it's in here somewhere. You see the smoke start to rise. There's purple. There's a purple light coming from the thing, and Shane and Seth are looking at oh my. It's it's him, and Shane's having war flashbacks or something. Yeah, but he just opens it, and it's oh, I have this from The Undertaker. I'm like, okay, it looks like in big text, the Undertaker on the top. I'm like, really? There's no way. You can't tell me the Taker knows how to work a computer. I don't know. He seems very old school. Maybe you got Michelle to do it. I don't have time for this, Michelle. You're gonna get on that computer and type them out. Why did he turn? Why does he turn it? Oh my god. Once again, the Heat not doing me no justice. It's gonna be a very interesting couple of months. It should have been just The Undertaker, and it was just a big piece of paper with his symbol on it or something like that, or just writing on it, and then in big black, just the Taker symbol. Even if it was just hastily scribbled on, I would have been maybe it was pressed for time, and it was he's what, are you busy? Again, I wanted to see that play out. Came just oh, what, are you busy? What are you, what, are you busy booting Shane? Well, that was months ago, and it's that was hard for me. I wanted him to win, but I couldn't. Not after what he did. You flash back to Lesnar. You just hear these, at some nights I still hear the screams. Honestly, I would like Undertaker to pull one over on Kane and run these sons of bitches. Wow. That would have been an awesome thing, too. Undertaker's fuck you, I'll beat your ass, I'll take whatever shit. Shane takes, one of the shows, and Taker shows up, he's like, bitch, I'll beat you. This show's mine. And Shane would be like, Shane would fight. He'd get the shit beat out of him, but, remember when Sheamus was on Smackdown and he got punked out and wasn't on for a while? Yeah, I guess they're doing stuff with that finally, because now Zack Ryder's talking to some locals, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it's like a local town. They're all just guys in suits just kind of pounding around. I thought it was like a celebrity guest or something like that. But I'm like trying to look at them, like trying to piece together, like, who are these people? We having like a guest host that they didn't announce and didn't know about because I didn't really give a shit because I was watching E3 at the time and I just was like, what happened? So I'm like, what happened? But no, it's just like him joking around with people. Like, oh, did you see what happened to Sheamus? Like, oh, it was so good. Like, wow, really, Ryder? After losing the IC title. But Sheamus comes in, he runs to tell him, like, yeah, since Ryder, I guess, knows he's going to get his kicked in, when Sheamus comes up to tell him he's going to do that, he just points over him at some point after that. He's like, yo, Apollo! And instead of taking the opportunity to cheap shot Sheamus, when he turns around to look, he just runs off, and he's like, oh, real funny fella! You pull an equivalent of a Lord Frieza and run away. Alright, it didn't work so well for Kui either, but thanks for coming. Same for Titus O'Neil. I guess he was coming out to fight Rusev, but no, I guess we'll save that for that paper because no Machka for you. He gets accolade out. 2-hit combo, baby. Alpha, Sierra, Yankee, Lima, Uniform, Mike, Asylum. Double signs of the segment. There's one for each. But yeah, it's time for the Ambrose Asylum with the return of the Shield. And they were putting this over as well, like all the cool shit they did before this even came out. One for Rollins is Power Ranger Weasel Jesus or something like this. Like, what? That's CrossFit Jesus to you. Thy will be done. The one for Roman is, here he comes. Start crying, Smarks. Can I cook to both of you guys? Seth tells Dean, Dean's like they brought the Asylum back. So I guess Shane, they do say that like Shane did it and approved it without Stephanie's approval. He's like, okay. How he did that on vacation? Fuck if I know, I can only do so much speculation and like fan putting shit together like just off the top of my head. I'm like, sometimes you're just like, because fuck it, I don't know. Moving on, just push it off to the side. Doesn't matter. Just get it out of here. Let's go do something else now. All right. He asks, Dean asks Seth about the knee. He's like, how's the knee? And Seth's like, that's 100%. And Dean says, your face hurt because it's killing me. Oh, come on, Seth. Don't be such a party pooper. Have some fun. We're back. Sort of. And Seth, with a bit of prodding, opens up. Needle him a little bit. He's like, hey, come on. He's like, all right. He talks about New Orleans and the Superdome where they beat the New Age Outlaws and Kane. That big fucking awesome entrance with the helicopter. Holy shit. How about that sushi train in Japan? Yeah, we had fun. Most fun I had in the ring was with you guys. Our match with the Wyatts, our 2 matches against Evolution. We ran Batista out of town into Hollywood. You should be thanking us for that. And Dune's like, yeah, you should. I've been saying that for months. The most fun I've had with you, like the most fun that I've had with you guys, like the be-all end-all, was when I took that steel chair to your backs. I like this idea of Seth being like we want to like him, and so he does the good guy thing, but then he like has an asshole relapse. He's like, fuck you guys, I'm Seth fucking Rollins, bitches. The double D's. There's only so long you can keep it going, but I'd be because he's so damn good at it, and we love him so much. CrossFit Jesus. Well, I put that steel chair to your back. So how about at WrestleMania when I stole Roman's Mania moment away from him and became the first Shield member to become the champion? Dude's like, okay, calm down. I don't want it to come to blows, and asks Roman, what's your plan for Money in the Bank? He apparently is Jericho 222's best favorite wrestler because he's like the big dog. Big dog walks in, champ, big dog walks out. I'm Roman Reigns. Beating. Wow. Okay, I'll get to that later. Hang on. Because I'm explaining. Seth says, because my leg gave, sorry, got a little head of here. They're going back and forth for a while. Seth's like, did you ever beat me for that title? And Roman's like, if it's your title, why do I have it? And Dean's like, I'll ask the questions here. So Seth, if it's your title, why does Roman... So it's like, I carry this company. That's my leg gave out. But carrying this company for almost a year, and while I was gone, he earned it. Because at Survivor Series, he beat you, Dean Ambrose. Now, he took down Sheamus. He even beat the game at Mania. So yeah, he earned it. But you have not and cannot beat me. And you couldn't be champ without me. The risks and gambles I took on my own. The victories, my own. And I'll win back that title on my own. And Dean's like, oh, so no J&J, corporate king, police, armed forces, anybody else to watch your back? And Roman's like, no. He's right. He screwed me out of Mania on his own. He broke the bond, the family that all three of us had on his own. That was his decision. We were your boys, your friends. We were the only ones who had your back, And why? For what? The spotlight? Well, that's going to be on you Sunday. And they'll call me the guy, not because I won the title, but because I finally beat you. It's like a final, shut up segment. And Dean's closing the segment, stir. I knew he was going to do it. He's got to stir the soup. It's like, will it be Seth Rollins, the man who never lost, or will the big dog, the man, the guy, or maybe it'll be me because I cashed in the briefcase after I win. He gets the last word. He gets his theme music play. He's like, and Seth goes to leave. So I'm like, of course, Dean's gonna talk to Roman. Of course, Seth. Like, Dean should have just turned around and he's like, bitch, like, I know you not gonna do that shit, I miss wrestling savvy Dean Ambrose. I wanted that. Like, he's like, I know you're gonna attack us, so I'm just gonna turn around and then they start throwing hands or some shit like that. Like, really? You turn your back for like a second, and Seth's like, boom. You kind of deserve that one, Dean. And Roman even goes out and saves Dean from getting pedigreed, only to get dirty leads himself by Ambrose. So Steph decides, to make Dean and Jericho for another main event. That's like the third time they fought each other? More than third, honestly. I'm sorry, my short-term memory. Let's see, because there's pay-per-view, so this has to be the 6th, 7th time? Something like that. Becky and Natty on commentary with an already in-ring Paige versus Charlotte, and maybe Dana secretly is trying to challenge Charlotte, whether she wanted to or not. Charlotte gets tossed on the outside, and Dana gets her and throws her back in, only for Paige to pin her. Maybe she does need Dad to win. Meanwhile, Cesaro about to be asked the question about his match with Sami Zayn, and he just shows up. Wow, leave this segment alone, Sami. You don't get to pull the interrupt card till later, kayfabe, brother. Cesaro's like, you don't just walk in and do whatever you want like you own the place. You're acting like a child. And Zayn takes this as Cesaro talking down to him. Cesaro says, I've been here 4 years, you 4 months. You're good, but you still have a lot to prove, and you should start tonight. And then back to the Charlotte Dana thing, who lets her have it. You tried to take over the division with Emma, and you failed. And once she got hurt, you failed up to being the champ's assistant. Wait, what? No. I didn't know. Not assistant. Protege. Protege. Yeah, that's it. Wow. Not taking your dumb blonde pills again, are you, Dana? Come on. I wanted to be, I so wanted to be Dana, just secretly just trying to measure the right moment, perfect the kill. If they did a women's, not even a women's Money in the Bank, but she just pulls up a thing I want that title, if it's I'm here now, and just, it wouldn't have to be, you could do heel versus heel, but who's even more sneaky, who's even more dastardly, out dirty the dirtiest player in the game, maybe. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what Dana's doing. Like, they tease where she... And I think that's what they're doing, because they're kind of teasing it, but Dana's still kind of like... I hope it builds to that, honestly. Because Charlotte's like, there's no room for failure when you're at the top. Our arrangement was for you to be a part of my legacy. We had some work to do before Sunday. Naturally, Sheamus goes over Zack Ryder, so out comes Apollo to beat on him some more to keep Sheamus from beating on Ryder post-match. Kevin Owens looking for Steph gets Shane and Kane, the new comedy duo, Wednesdays on Fox. Owens tells Shane, Del Rio just showed up 20 minutes ago. That doesn't strike you as unprofessional? I think maybe we should take him out of Money in the Bank. And apparently Owens might have sabotaged Del Rio from showing tonight, because he shows up and he's just soothing at Owens, just like, I know what you did, you perro. And starts going in Spanish, and then he starts going in French Canadian. Language off, go! Kane makes it so they team up to face the Lucha Dragons for their spots on the ladder match. What? And Shane's just like, yeah, that sounds a good idea. Wow. I mean, yeah, it's all to make sure Owens and Del Rio don't just run out on one another like they did on Smackdown last week, but... But enough about that. Let's go Zayn Cesaro. Just, wow. Watch this match. Amazing. The end was where Zayn takes Cesaro from, I think, a possible neutralizer or powerbomb into like an almost mid-air, like 180s the motherfucker, and gets him in powerbomb position. Just goosh. Dude's fought Nakamura. If anyone knows how to take a moment and make it his own, it's Zayn, and I think that's what they're doing with him. Like they keep making him like very like kind of like he's got a beard, he's got like this weird hat, he's just got like a jacket. He's very like he's the underdog now. Like that's your guy who's gonna just out of nowhere just take it, and that's what he did with Cesaro. And Cesaro, was like, wow, did that just happen? Like Cesaro's in disbelief at something. Like, wow, usually people are in disbelief at the shit I can do, and I'm like, oh, that's what that feels like. Okay, so now I know for Sunday. Contract signing! This is a really good segment, too. Cena pulling AJ's fucking Punk card on this one, and I was like, And this is my thing. Like I said, I was talking about Reigns, and I'll get to it. Cena believes the WWE is he's like the pinnacle of the business, company guy, all that stuff, yeah. Year after year, this company would tell Styles, yeah, you don't belong here, And this is where I have respect for Styles, because he didn't let it get him down. In my time here winning 15 championships, Styles has won more in more places. Fast forward to Shane McMahon wanting this new era, and not only does Styles belong here, he wants him here. Yeah, I spoke with him earlier myself to make this signing a little bit more interesting. So AJ, come on down. AJ doing the same thing. He's like, I'll run circles around you and moving so fast that you can't see. Come on, AJ. Yeah, you underestimate Cena. He's kind of the goofy guy, but I know it sounds like I'm like trying to toot Cena's horn here, but he really coming off looking amazing, and they're making AJ look like because again, this is the whole Cena Reigns thing. Cena, he's kind of established as like the face that runs the place. Like, yeah, now he's no longer being like, I'm that plucky underdog or whatever. They're not doing that with him anymore. Now he calls himself the face that runs the place. Now he is the standard bearer. He's the measuring stick. And to give it the title to Roman Reigns, who's trying to come up as that, he's got a long hill to climb, and WWE just loves to keep putting him back down. Like the booking thing. But that's just my take on it. But man, like I said, Cena's already established himself. It is kind of like, I'm gonna run circles around you and do all this stuff. And Cena's trying to call Styles bluffs. He's like, I got 2 contracts here. One is me and you one-on-one. The other is me and you and the club. It will be out there. You sign that one, I will fight my damnedest as I have always done, and you're gonna win. And solidify yourself. Solidify yourself as the, you got one over on John Cena, the big bad, and solidify your position as captain of the bitch club. Or sign this, and you get a true answer to the question, what if? Yeah, he's calling AJ's bluff, and now AJ on the defensive, like, you don't think I can beat you one-on-one because you're the face that runs the place? What if I was here? Yeah, let's talk about what if. What if I was here 15 years ago? You would not have been a 15-time champ, 2-time Royal Rumble winner. You wouldn't be on magazines or shitty movies. The powers that be would have allowed it. I'd be the face that runs the place. Cena's like, oh, you whining and complaining like every other indie with an entitlement complex. Again, this struck me as very familiar to CM Punk, but, CM Punk can a lot better at interviews than AJ Styles. Not that he's terrible, but CM Punk, like, compared to AJ, is leaps and bounds ahead of the guy. And that's why I think we gravitated towards CM Punk, because, the way he said it and how he said it, it went hand in hand. And at the time, yes, he did have a lot of, he had a good one where he's like, he's like, look at them, they love you, man, they love you, that, you got them in the palm of your hand, and then you're just gonna say bye. And then fast forward to him, like, just being like, yeah, I mean, yeah, segment and people just still chant for him, but yeah, he still kind of left. He had his reasons, yeah, but still people are like, just throwing, it's all WWE's fault. Yeah, it's the WWE doctor's fault. I would hope he doesn't work there anymore. I mean, we made it clear with Del Rio, that guy probably doesn't work in the whatchamacallit anymore. Not that I'm saying WWE doesn't, they make a lot of bad decisions, but I'm going to take forever trying to explain it away or even rationalize it, because there really is no rationalizing it, I think. I think I'm just, like, going to make it even harder for myself. Let me just get back to... Well, see, I do it too. Zip! Push it aside, move on. He's heard it before, again. Like, Cena's just like, oh, really? You're going to pull this now, too? Like, I didn't have this with CM Punk. You're going to complain like every other indie, like, oh, it could have been me. I could have had that. Give me the opportunity. You have the chance to do it here and now. Sign that. Prove me wrong. Or sign the one with the club. And you will need me to bury you. You'll beat me to it. So, of course, AJ signs the solo one, tells Cena, I'm not like those other indie guys you spoke of. And Money in the Bank, your time is up. My time is now. Brappa Styles? Phenomenal! There we go. Kalisto tries for the title match. He tries for Del Rio on the outside and gets lawn darted into the ringside barricade. Sin Cara almost has it, sending, he sends his opportunity. Like, Owens, he's going for, he's trying to hit Sin Cara. I think Sin Cara dodges or, like, I think he grabs Owens and, like, sends him into Del Rio, takes him off the apron. And Owens kicks out of the near fall and just snatches up with a powerbomb. He's like, I won them. He's like, yeah, I won the match. And then Del Rio comes in and gets a little bit more comeuppance for the shit he's had to endure tonight and last SmackDown by bequeathing a boot to the head. And one for Kalisto and the Botcher. Well, he's not the Botcher anymore. It's the Spirit. The Spirit of Sin Cara. Yeah, Papa. Afterwards, Owens does find Stephanie and complains that his spot should never have been jeopardized to begin with, and apparently Zayn, like, this happened earlier, like they do the thing where it's like Shane's talking with somebody else, and the commentary is just like, well, that's this guy talking to Shane McMahon, and we're gonna go segue over to what happened last week or something like that, or what this, or blah blah blah, or we'll be back after this, like, Raw rolls on. Yeah, apparently that was Zayn talking with Shane earlier, and he's on commentary for Ambrose and Jericho, and Owens wants in on it too, and stuff's like, yeah, all right. And Del Rio shows up to yell at Owens some more, kissing up to Stephanie. He's like, oh, you kissing up to Stephanie like a little chihuahua. You own a lot of dogs, Del Rio? Are you going to be in Westminster? Do you... Do they still do that? I know USA had that for a while, where it's like, we're not doing Raw because we got a Westminster Dog Show or something. Do they still do that? I don't know. Probably because, like, eventually, like, they found out, like, oh, hey, wrestling. It's like their biggest thing now. Now that's why they're going to do it on Smackdown now, I guess, on live Tuesdays. And I guess once NXT, is that still network? Or are they getting a TV thing too? Because why not? You're going to be a brand now, apparently. You might as well. But yeah, they're just like, I want to be on commentary. It's like, I want to be on commentary too. And he gets to be a timekeeper? You know there's a Spanish announce table? You can't put him out there. They don't get to have a guest. They just have their table broken. That's all they're good for, Steph. Racist. I'm really paid Stephanie's the worst. That's a spoiled rich bitch. I don't know. Her character, I'm like, you can just like, Val Del Rio, I'll be like, I want to be on the Spanish announce table. He'll guard the Spanish announce table. It was like, you don't break this, perro. You break this, I break you. You perro son of a bitch. He should take the Spanish announce table for himself and leave. There's some way. Like, Trump might as well put one over on Rusev when he take the TV. Like, just take the whole table. It's like, hey, you two, you come with me. We're going to take this table. And keep it separate. Like, put it all the way over here in the corner. Wait, that was an LA. Sorry, I was thinking of LAX. Amazing. Amazing stuff. But yeah, he's just a timekeeper. I'm like, man. Although Shane puts one over on her, making Cesaro a guest ring announcer. Now, that's a good idea. So he's a man of 5 different languages. Like, And they deliberate on Kane running SmackDown, and Shane wants someone with a little more stability. And Kane, they're talking about whether Kane managed to come in. He's like, oh, hey, Kane, we're just talking about. He's like, yeah, I heard you. I heard the whole thing, Is this about the whole car battery to your testicles thing? Because I thought we were past that. That's the line of the night there. Wow. Have we gotten over that? And Shane's like, it wasn't. It doesn't help your case. And okay, off King goes. Ends up, yeah. All right, you got something there. And he ends off by saying, yeah, King's not fit for running SmackDown. And Steph, neither are you. SmackDown's mine, fuckers! Main event. Cesaro entering Jericho as from Winnipeg, Manitoba. Now from stupid Idiotville. Well, which one is it? Are you insulting Winnipeg, Manitoba, or are you just now residing? It's like formerly, you could have said formerly Winnipeg, Manitoba. Now currently residing. Like, Then again, he kind of disowned Canada or something. Zip. Scott Steiner did it better, although he would have probably just referred to Jericho as being from Mexico North. Yeah, they're from Dougie doing this. The poo daddy. The poo. I don't know what this guy is, but Booker T's gonna kick the shit out of him because they're a bunch of idiots. He's fat. All right, wanted to get that out of there. Okay. While I'm in Steiner mode, wow. 1 in a million. That's why I had to do 2 promos. That's why he was in 2 promo. There were probably a couple others too, Edge, but yeah, Steiner. Wow. From Cincinnati, Ohio. Meanwhile, introducing Dean Ambrose as like, from Cincinnati, Ohio, looking like he just rolled out of bed. Dean Ambrose, I'm like, oh, that's what that look is. That's what that haircut is. Dude just messes with Owens on commentary, ripping his headset off, and man keeps shit professional. He's shit talking Dean after getting pummeled by Jericho, and everybody all of a sudden wants to fight. Like everyone starts standing up. Like Del Rio's at the timekeeper, he gets up. He sees Owens gets up, and so Zayn sees this. Zayn's sitting by Byron. Owens is by Byron because he's it's like, oh god. And Zayn's on the other side with JBL, because then so everybody gets out of their chairs. I'm like, you don't see JBL, Cole, and Byron getting out of their chairs staring at each other angrily. Would actually be kind of a it would have been something. I don't know what it would have been, but it would just be like, oh, I get like JBL's like, I guess we're all standing up now. Do you mind if I stand up too? And you know, Byron's like, hey, maybe I should like sit down, Byron, or something like that. Like, you two sit down. That would be something. JBL running SmackDown. He did mention that, like, the Shane's running SmackDown. Everyone wants to be on SmackDown Live, and he was like, you should be competing. And JBL's like, yeah, hell yeah, longest running SmackDown champion. I'm like, yay. His run was interesting. I liked it anyway. Bled like a son of a bitch in every single one of them, you know. But he was like he was a heel's heel. You wanted to see him get bludgeoned, but then you look back and I'm like, oh god, the shit he went through a limo with the Undertaker. He fucking bled like a faucet with Eddie Guerrero. The both of them did that bull rope match. Christ. Smells like smoke because he's been through fire. Yeah. And a whole bunch of other shit, too. My favorite probably was, like, the escape from, like, the cage match where he couldn't get away from, like, the Big Show. And all of a sudden, like, he chokeslams him, like, through the ring, so he, like, escapes under it and he's on the outside. And the ref's like, oh, he's out. Ring the bell. Like, that was, like, kind of bullshit, but because it's JBL and he's a heel champion, you were like, you could buy it, you know. It was like, it was a bullshit finish, but because it's JBL, it's like, you know, that's how he gets away with it. That's how he lives to gloat for another day while wearing a fucking neck brace and all this shit on his head or something like that from taking the fucking I'm not fighting it tonight. I'm hurting. Brr, I got my cabinet. I'm gonna fight this guy instead and pretend I'm on. Oh, that was a good segment. Fuck, man, I love JBL as SmackDown champion. I just remember the time he was over in Japan fighting a thing. It's like this big floaty Godzilla toy, like a balloon or something like that, or like a blow up balloon or something like that. He's like, JBL just beat us. I'll be Godzilla, you eat people. I gotta fight a giant in Big Show. He eats pizza. Oh, it was great. Sorry to reminisce about better days gone by. If he just like came out like a two-step Michael, I think he still does that in the ring where they announce people coming out. Like JBL still does like the like he still does the two-step down the ring. Like, ha, I'm having fun, Michael. Wasted on commentary, buddy. Although I'm pretty sure if you wanted to, you couldn't get back in. I don't know what the thing is. He said he was retired, not dead, or at some point, and then he came back for a while, and then like Rey Mysterio came back and blew it up. I want to see him have one more run, because even on Raw, where he was like basically soliciting the services of, I don't know if it was soliciting, but he basically had like Shawn Michaels as his like personal slave or something like that, because Shawn Michaels like pissed away all his money apparently or something like that. Like, oh, times are tough, like the whole economy collapsed and everything. And Shawn Michaels like, I got, lost his smile and now he's lost his money. JBL would say something like, what, you didn't lose your smile, you lost your money too, and something like that. And again, when you saw like finally HBK gets his comeuppance, you were like, yeah, that was. I think that's why I like The Miz so much now, because he's captured like a tenth of that. Like JBL was like white hot heel, like goddamn. Like you wanted to see him take a fucking beating. And I guess that's what they're doing with The Miz. They're keeping him off TV so he can be like the Maroon 5, and when he comes back, he's gonna be even like, I have this movie, and the whole thing is gonna be even more because he was like a thing off camera, like a on-set grip. He's like, this coffee is cold. Go get me another one. Like, hey, who's awesome? And the grip's like, you are? And Miz is like waves him off. He's like, away with you, peasant. Because dude wins the match, and Owens runs in on him. At least he waited until the end of it. Ambrose, you cuck. I still hope you win, but I'm just like, mostly because because it would work for him because he's a cuck. He's like that title. It's like the word. It's like the thing you could do with like that's why I said it always goes to heels, because they would do something like that. Like faces would have to be like the only time they did it. I think Cena announced it like on the 1000th episode of Raw when he was gonna cash his in and failed, and RVD, he did it for the one-night stand thing. That was the only time face did it, I think. Because I think Daniel Bryan had it as a face, and I think he turned or something like that, or he decided, like, I'm going to cash in at WrestleMania. And then, like, all of a sudden, like, oh shit, Mark Henry's down. This is, or Big Show or something like that. This is my chance. But yeah, they just beat the shit out of each other. But again, I feel for Owens. Like, he gets his headset pulled off, and then he had to endure Byron and Zayn's love fest. So everybody fly at one another till one person climbs the ladder and gets the briefcase. And this time it's the inventor, Chris Jericho. I invented this match. But can he win it? He usually doesn't, but throw Jericho a bone. Because I love him too. He's so amazing. Like, he's becoming like affably evil, and he can still kind of with like the, because he can pull that off where he had like the world championship with a big stupid grin on his face, like, I'm going to WrestleMania. He didn't do that, but he wanted to. Like, the smile was the big old shit-eating grin, Chris Jericho in the suit. But that's Raw. So yeah, Monday Night Raw, mostly garbage. And since I know there's no way SmackDown's topping E3, let's go to NXT and see what they can come up with. And so far we've got the in-ring debut of these authors of pain that are just toying with these locals. I don't think we even got their names. They're just too busy. Even commentary was like too busy, like, yeah, these guys are running right through these guys. They're not even waiting for tags. They're just throwing a motherfucker into another one. The Juggernaut bitch, my bitch with your own pimp. They basically, that's what they do. They take a dude. They, like, take a guy who's on the apron, bring him in, and throw him into the other dude, and when he rolls outside, they just finish him off or something like that. Wow. And these guys won't have 4 to 5 weeks of vignettes in front of a green screen after they win their match. See, when I think about this, I start to get pissed off. How do you have the total elimination and then put these guys in front of a green screen for 4 or 5 weeks? Come on! They're not in the Fatal 4-Way tag thing? I'm like, Ugh. Ty Dillinger has a problem with the loss to Alma, saying TakeOver was a fluke. He calls the interviewer Andrea DeMarco a 6. Wow. You're gonna be that guy just because you lost one match? Damn. So yeah, he just goes up and challenges him, and I guess he accepts, because later on they have their match. Carmella with a sick moonwalk on her way to do battle with Tessa Blanchard, who's probably happy she gets to fight someone her own height requirement and does pretty good. Did pretty good against Nia, but against someone like Carmella, she gets to, like, actually show off what she's made of before she takes the boot to the face, leading to the submission called Total Silence, I think? Samoa Joe, I guess, with a state of address to the locker room saying, what are you willing to sacrifice for the NXT Championship? I destroyed my brother, chased a demon around the world. Sunday was the end, but it's only just a continuation of my era. You don't have enough to sacrifice to stand against me. Meanwhile, Blake and Murphy, I guess, reconciled and blame game Alexa Bliss and are looking to step back in the tag division against the team formerly known as the Mighty Don't Kneel, TM61. Murphy and Blake both in ring on Shane Thorne, and Shane, like, blocks the kick from Murphy and he, like, throws it back so it, like, inadvertently kicks Blake in the midsection, and Blake, like, he's got to recover, so he's lining up for a clothesline, and Thorne rolls out of the way, leaving Murphy to eat it as well. Tag to Nick Miller, who just runs wild on Blake. Spinebuster tagging, I don't know how to describe it, but they call it the Thunder Valley. Sick name. But they get their first win on NXT as a team. Over a team who's held the NXT tag titles for 8 months, but I assume that team, like, these guys are clearly like the shadow of that team. I didn't see that early NXT, so I don't know for sure, but ow. They just couldn't get it together tonight. Revival's, meanwhile, saying they've worked as a unit, they've won as a unit, we talk heavy, we hit hard, and we are your 2-time NXT tag champs. Bayley with a doctor appointment next week. She hopes it's good news, because she claims she needs to come back and needs to win that women's title. Crowd may have turned on Almas by the sound of things in this rematch from the end, as Dillinger turns the mean streak on. Like, he's just beating on the guy, but Perfect 10's got to stop and pose, because, when you're the Perfect 10, you're like, ah. And that's the time for Almas to turn it around and win with the double knee to the face. Main roster bound for sure, Finn Balor, who says, I was in Ireland the first time I saw NXT and saw Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy. I'm like, I want to be part of that. And as much as I became part of NXT, it became a part of me. 292 days, NXT champion. I warred with Neville, warred with Bruce, Kevin Owens, and Samoa Joe, and now I stand not champion. So, question is, what's next for Finn Balor? He gets a Balor Club chant, and he's like, too sweet. Conan and Nash would disapprove. It's not too sweet, it's too sweet. It's not for life, it's for life. The man who responds, however, is not sweet. He's swag. Nakamura says, when I was in Japan, I watched you become the icon of NXT, and if I want to be champ here, I gotta beat that icon. I gotta beat. And he's so good. He's like he doesn't want to say it. He's struggling. He's struggling to spit it out. He's struggling. The crowd's just eating up. He's like, I gotta beat. Like he's you. I can't describe it because I can't put it in words. I'm just like, but that's he's just like, I don't want to say it, but I gotta. The crowd's just like, say it. They're like, oh, he's gonna say it. He's gonna say it. He's gonna say it. It's like, you. And Finn says, oh, well, you answered my question. I'll see you when we do it. I'll accept. Finn, ski. They're probably gonna tag or something like that because I don't know. They would probably do that for Raw. NXT might seem a little less because they only got an hour to fill. Which again, I hope they took the third hour from Raw and put it over to NXT if we're third brand in this shit. But anyway, that's NXT straight to SmackDown with the slightly improved highlight reel. Chris Jericho. A lot of money went into this. A lot of money I plan on getting back when I win that. My creation. And here's Dean Ambrose as my guest. I'm like, what? Hey, you watch that coffee. This is, I forget what he said. It's like Burmese yak hair, this new carpet of mine. Why'd you even bring coffee? And Ambrose is like, oh, this? It's just the gift of Jericho. Loved it. He's like, I'm drinking it in, man. He's supposed to. So Jericho, being bested in this instance, admittedly, denies us the Jeritron. Wow! He's like, raise it up! No more Jeritron for you. No, you get nothing. The Jeritron privileges have been revoked! The gift. Can you go to Starbucks and get the gift of Jericho? Is that what did it? Would you like that in a tall or venti or grande, whatever the stuff they use? Can I get a box of the gift of Jericho? I just want to drink it in, man. See, I thought it was like a spray or something like that. Like, the gift of Jericho. I would think it would be like a cologne or something like that. Like, that, Obsession by, Rick Martel. Like, he sprays it on himself and he's like, oh, it's Obsession. But yeah, I was loving this, and Jericho goes on to say, you destroyed my 15K jacket, 69 why'd you invite him then? Just to berate him, I guess? Like, my $15,000 jacket, 69 thumbtacks I had to pluck from my skin. 69, dudes! But these holes combined aren't as big as the hole in your soul. The one thing I've learned my holes heal with time. Yours can only heal by winning that briefcase, which you ain't doing. And everybody comes out and say your piece now. Zayn again does not know what fucking kayfabe is. Like, Owens comes out, he says a couple of things. Del Rio says, basically like, he takes a guy who's won it before, and, I have, and I'm going to do it again. Cesaro comes out and is about to say something, and then before he gets a word out, Zayn's music hits, and he comes out, and Cesaro's like, really? You're doing this again. The faces, they all take offense to being called idiots by Jericho, and Jericho, explains, he clarifies that, I said, no, I didn't call you idiots. I called you stupid idiots. And our team of heels is gonna beat your... No, not the coffee! Oh, I bet you that carpet is super absorbent, too. You gotta get that special carpet cleaner spray quickly before that stains and sets in. Ooh. Like, he's just, oh, it was like early Chris Jericho, like him, like early WCW heel Chris Jericho, where he was like, I'm the champion! He's like throwing it, he's like going all high pitched and screaming. He's like, you guys get in there and do something! He's ruining my carpet! And then Ambrose just punched him in the face. I feel like a commercial. Stop the camera! Fatal four-way, and this time Enzo and Cass get interrupted on the way to the ring by the New Day. Wow, I guess we got a theme going. Each team is kind of a representative, so it's going to be Kofi versus, I think Gallows. Yeah, I think it was Kofi, Gallows, Big Cass, and in English I had Anderson written in there by accident, but I think it was Gallows. Enzo and Woods on commentary on each side, and the heels take out Big Cass 2-on-1 out of the ring so they can start to 2-on-1 Kofi in it. You know, until Cass returns and turns shit around, and Anderson and Cass, it's Gallows and Cass, right? But I did it again. They fucking teeing off at one another, and plancha from Kofi to take them all out. Izzy's Gotch trying to clothesline Kofi, who ducks and takes one himself, like Gotch just laid out. So Kofi back in, taking out English in-ring and wins it. Corbin literally swatting Zack Ryder, just drop-kicking from the air, and he just, bitch, I got a fucking pre-show match with Ziggler. What do you... Apparently Ryder dodged a... Yeah, you may dodge the dropkick, but I think Ryder dodged a bullet with this one. Ugh. Please end this. We're all so past this. Just let Corbin win, please. Just be done with it. Although I wouldn't even know where Ziggler goes. I think he's done. I don't know. I'd hate to say that a guy is just like, well, it's pretty much it, but unless you turn heel or something like that and just start out. That would be probably the only thing that saves you at this point, because turnabout's fair play when Titus O'Neil interrupts Rusev on his way to slay some Lucha Dragons. AJ continuing to prove he's a better wrestler than a talker, and New Day comes in to save the segment. You know, they're coming in to celebrate, you know, saying the whining AJ goes with his emo haircut, and Kofi's like, you call yourself AJ Styles when there's nothing stylish about you. Okay, now see, what he should have done, what he should have said was, you know, since AJ's gone for Cena stuff, like, Kofi take a play out of his book, like, turn around, like, you call yourself AJ Styles, but you ain't got none, you ain't got, you know, see? And AJ's like, you know, he tells them all to shut it and wants a one-on-one with Xavier Woods. He needs a tune-up match. So he's like, no club, I just want a tune-up match with Xavier Woods. And, you know, Kofi's like, nah, you ain't getting that. And Xavier's like, no, wait a minute. I haven't had a singles match since a hot minute, you know? I'm like, yeah, you're right. You haven't had one since John Cena was U.S. champion. I think that was the last singles match you had. So I'm like, okay, this is interesting. You know, the second hour really picked up, damn. Xavier practically on one leg has got to fend him off with a jumping knee that gets countered by AJ's Pele for two. They just trade each other shot. I'm looking at this and my God, Woods, that hair. You could build this up and make it a hair versus hair match, because I can't handle either one's, like, especially AJ, but especially Woods. I wouldn't call it the frizz factor like Kane's hair going on in like that one Royal Rumble, but the man Woods' hair is starting to take a life on its own. So he's got like all that volume and conditioning, and now it's like he starts to wrestle and it gets all over the place, and he looks like a cross between Mozart and broken Matt Hardy. Brother Kofi, I've composed you a composure. Oh, because all three of them. That intro, is he really just going for like the classical music and coming out? Because that is classic heel. And then there was like this one video, I didn't see the whole thing, but apparently on there's an Instagram video of him just like making faces at 5 minutes and his neighbors just yelling to like, go the fuck to sleep, man, or some shit. I don't know. I'm sorry, I keep going back to Matt Hardy, but it's like the craziest fucking thing, and you're just drawn to it immediately. And even TNA is like, oh, we got some money here. That's why they, you know, poked fun of it. Like, they know they got something, like, wildfire here, and I couldn't see it on YouTube, because apparently they did that shit live, so it might take a while, so I don't know what happened with that this week. I know Slammiversary, Jeff beat him. Something like that, and we got a new champion with Bobby Lashley. We got a new X Division champion. I don't know. I watched subscribed to New Legacy, so I just listened to them talk about that. I wanted this so badly to be like a hair versus hair match. Like, you could build this. Like, both former gamers. I even said on Twitter that this shit was already personal, because that one up, down, down video where it's like, they're playing on the big screen. I think it's like UFC or WWE 2K16 or something like that. But they're playing on, like, the big WrestleMania, like, screen up top. Like, WrestleMania usually has, like, that big cube of, like, screens, like, in the middle of the ring for, like, the people who sit way back. I think they were, like, in the midsection or something like that. And they had, like plugged in the game to, like, to put that on the big screen. And they're playing, like, UFC. And I think Woods beats AJ, and AJ, like, Woods is doing his thing, you know, up, then down. You know, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, make sure you always and forever. And then AJ just grabs his fucking heel ass AJ. We should have seen this coming. Like, the whole heel turn thing. Like, this would have been perfect if they brought this back for it. I would have been applauded this even further. Like, he just grabs his controller and just hooks it out of the ring. Like, wow. Dick move, bro. And Woods is like, oh shit, he just threw my controller. That shit was probably like, that's custom. That's probably gonna cost you like 50, 60. I don't know what controllers go for these days, but for like PS4 and like custom made like that probably did to sink like a bit more money than you normally would. So again, like, I was on like Twitter, like, and now then this has revenge for that time. But of course, AJ has the big, huge Cena match, so of course he's gonna win. Although I give it up to Woods with this sick top rope elbow, not the corner, not the turnbuckle. Like, he gets like he does like the old school Undertaker thing, just by himself, and like off the top rope, he just leaps off and does like an elbow on AJ. It looked good shit, man. Wow, big money Woods over here. But Big Match Styles got it with the forearm and calf crusher, saying, that was just a taste of what he's going to give to Cena. Darren Young doing a lot of reading, which Backlund approves of, saying, quote, books are dumbbells for the brain. But I gotta tell you, don't take advice from anybody. And Darren's confused, like, you know, but you're giving me advice. Does that include you? I'm like, yes! Coach, I don't understand. Yeah, it's I don't give advice. I give orders. 100 ideas now. I just got you there. Fight between Becky and Dana broke on the outside because Dana's trying to give Charlotte the belt to hit her with. It's Charlotte versus Natty, by the way. Charlotte throws the belt at Natty's feet, yelling, ref, ref. So, Smoking Gun, he sees, like, the belt at Natty's feet. She's like, you trying to use it? And she's like, no. So he takes the belt, and then Natty takes a nasty chop block in lieu to the figure 8 and taps out. Miscues abound in the main event with the faces. Like, I think Cesaro, like, no, he hits Cesaro on the outside, and Zayn tries to plancha on the outside and get, like somebody gets somebody, and Owens is just like more blatant with his attacks. Like, he just sees Del Rio, boom, super kick. He sees Chris Jericho, boom, super kick, and like, there's still a match involved, so Ambrose takes advantage with Dirty Deeds and wins it. So, let me real quick. I don't normally do this for those. Yeah, it's only been like a. But in keeping with the spirit of the Wolf Tap, I will go to my new segment of predictions for the pay-per-view. Let me just pull up. All right, I got up on Wikipedia. So I normally didn't do this, but again, in keeping with spirit of the previous podcast with everybody. You know, because Dracus is all about the predictions. He's asking PM. He's asked KZ. I don't know if they still watch or not, but he's probably paying particular attention to this, so I'll give him what I think. You know, I don't know what to call it. I was trying to think of like who I want as like a fan, and who I am predicting is going to, like, as like a trying to look at this analytically. So yeah, it's like it's kind of like the wheat thins. Not wheat thins, frosted mini wheats, rather. yeah, the kid in me wants the kid in me is blah blah blah, and then the adult in me is like all the fiber and everything. But the kid in me wants this the way. Dolph Ziggler, Baron Corbin. You know, the adult says Corbin's gonna win this, but the kid in me is like, "Ooh, look at that over there." Apparently, my kid is AG. Apollo Cruz versus Sheamus. I feel like this is Cruz gonna step up and do things. Like, who should win is Sheamus to boot the fuck out of him and maybe make Apollo serious to kind of break him in, like how Undertaker would just go through like new school guys like the Hardys, the Colossus of Boggle Road. Like Undertaker would just like go through everybody, all these newer cats, and just be like, you know, the standard bearer, like in that regard, because he's the Undertaker and he's awesome. I don't know, the kid in me kind of, like, they don't disagree all that often. The kid in me is like, man, Apollo should win because we like Apollo and he's going to smile super big. But I could see it going either way. I think they're going to give it to Apollo, but I want to see Sheamus just, like, get one over him just to show, like, Cruz is beatable here and Cruz has got to get serious if he wants to make it in the main roster. He's like, and then he starts getting, like, a couple of losses here and there and, you know, build Cruz up. Like they should be doing for Zack Ryder, that one thing that Drakus showed me, like 10 things on how to get Ryder serious. And how to get Ryder back into being a somebody. Wow, really? That's the third thing on there? I'm going by order on Wikipedia, the article. Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins, who should win this is, like, the kid in me says Rollins, but I'm thinking, yeah, Reigns is going to get another one somehow, because, you know, who I'm predicting to win is Reigns, who, again, I think, you see what I mean? Yeah, here's where they really start to, because Rollins never lost the title, he should get it back, but these things usually favor the champion, and I don't think he's jumping to the Seth Rollins. I think once SummerSlam rolls around, it's either going to be Lesnar or Cena, and he's going to drop it there. That's my prediction on that. You know, so he's going to have it for a while. But that's going to be your main event, and they put it third on the card. I guess they'll shuffle that around once the event takes place and be like in order of which match took place first at the pay-per-view itself. Next on the list is the Money in the Bank, which will probably be like the set in the first or second hour. Like I said last week, I'm predicting Owens, and I think a lot of people are pretty much going with me on that one. You know, he's pretty much been like the safe bet of like, because the heel usually wins these, but like I said, I was giddy, like the kid in me, you know, Dean Ambrose is stirring that shit, and he finally gets one over on everybody. It would be like Zack Ryder all over again. And do like the Shield thing, like he nailed it home on Monday. It was like, what if I win it? I had to cash in, and what are you motherfuckers? We'll see who the most successful the Shield is now. Even though he's the last one to get it, but like, now I'm the most successful one because I have this. Cena Styles. No Gallows and Anderson, so this is going to be one-on-one, and it's going to be big match John. We're going to see what he can do. Maybe there's like ring rust sets in or something like that. I feel like AJ has been like he's full of him. Like I can see AJ being full of himself and not taking Cena as serious as he should. So I think this first one, if they're gonna Cena Owens this thing and make it like a, one's gonna win one and then the second one's gonna win the other one, and then we have the rubber match, which I feel like this is what we're gonna do. Just until more people come in. Or I guess until Balor comes in, I don't know. The Balor Club and he joins those guys, and we'll see. You never know. But yeah, I see AJ. I see Cena winning this because like I'm getting at Styles, kind of like shutting Cena up for a little bit. But again, in my gut, I see like I'm predicting AJ's gonna overestimate himself and underestimate Cena because he's never fought the guy before, and he's heard like, oh, he's just this guy, like a product of the machine, and Cena takes him. Like not just beats him quickly, but he's gonna make like AJ's gonna make a mistake, and Cena's been here for a long time, I can almost see him painting that picture right now as I'm describing it. Loath as I am to admit that, because then what for Styles? You know, Cena said it himself. Again, this is mirroring the CM Punk thing where CM Punk was leaving and they had the contract signing. Cena was like, hey, you got this big match. You better be ready. Because if you don't back up what you say, you're just another one-hit wonder, you know? You talk a lot of shit, but you can't back it up in the ring. And that's what I feel like they're doing with AJ. Like, Cena said it himself that night, too. Like, you made your debut at the Rumble and failed. You had your big match at WrestleMania, your first big match. It was Chris Jericho, and you lost. The 2 times you tried to win Reigns for the title and failed. And now you're going to start shit with me just because all that didn't pan out for you? You know, that's you're being desperate. Like, once again, you need to win this, or you're done. And that's, like, the more I thought about this, I'm like, oh, AJ really, really needs to win this. So that's why I'm going back to that they're gonna triple this thing. It's gonna be a third rubber match it. So Cena's gonna win 2, and then we're gonna have like the big rubber match at just in time for August. It's SummerSlam. Fatal 4-way tag team match. Who I'm predicting to win is the New Day, because Shenanigans, who I want to see win, Anderson and Gallows, and this will tie in, if the club's got to win one thing. I want them to win at least, one match, I'm predicting, and if it's not the tag match, then AJ's gonna beat Cena. I'm predicting the New Day are gonna retain, but I'm gonna be pulling for the club, Anderson and Gallows, to take this, and if Anderson and Gallows take it, I don't. It'd be pretty awesome if both club members, to showcase these guys have fucking arrived. Yeah, they have. Wow, they win 2 matches and they win both. That would be a thing to see on Monday. All 3 of these guys are just yeah, we're the club, we're awesome. You didn't think we could do it, but we're awesome. Yeah, you know what I mean? That thing heels do. It's But Gallows, you gotta drop the fun ski and shit like that. I'm like, that's gonna bury you fast and fucking Festus. I'm sorry. I think I read the article on Uprocks, and they're saying, we don't want Good Brother and Sex Ferguson, and then they were like, no, wait a minute, yeah, we do, once again, embracing the strange and hilarious. I think it's a lesson we're kind of learning now. TNA doing kind of not as great, but the only thing anyone really gave a shit about was Brother Nero. Rusev is gonna murder Titus O'Neil. Murder him unmercifully. And I think I almost would think that would be your how you debut Darren Young, he's looking down at his former champion, and Bob Backlund is screaming at him to throw on the chicken wing on that piece of shit, you know what I mean? Or you're gonna give me 200 squats or something like that. That would be a good way to debut the guy. Just put him over his former tag champion after Rusev beats him, and because does anyone even if it was before the whole playing with McMahon thing and getting suspended, were we really campaigning for main eventer Titus O'Neil? Over Rusev, who just won the thing? Nah, I don't believe it. I don't buy it for a second. And then last tag team match, so I guess Charlotte is not defending, and we gotta throw Dana Brooke in there. We could have just had a fatal. And again, we could have just had a fatal 4-way if the whatchamacallit actually paid off. I actually would have turned this into one. If you really are doing the Charlotte Dana Brooke thing that they're teasing, oh, will they, won't they? This is where you would keep that thing going in a fatal 4-way, and Charlotte would tell, Dana, you gotta bask in my spotlight, and I'm like, don't you dare take this title from me, and Dana Brooke's thinking about it, and does she do it, does she? Will she or won't she? That might have actually, added something to this thing, instead of just, being a tag match. I'm sure it'll be, we'll get to see all 4 of these girls go, but in a tag match, we're gonna see all 4 of these girls go at, a lesser capacity. And we've been seeing Paige, Paige not even here, and she's beating the champion, I think, twice now. And she's not even on the card? But yeah, that's my predictions, and that's the podcast. Looking forward to the pay-per-view. Take care, thanks for listening.